in, Minnesota sports fans, for a late edition, breaking news edition of Wolves on SI here on the Bring Me the Sports YouTube channel. Jonathan Harrison here with Joe Nelson. Joe, we're just hitting all the teams at this point today. Might as well. Late breaking news coming in from the Athletics' Shams Charania. Timberwolves trading Karl-Anthony Towns in a massive package for Julius Randle, Donte DiVincenzo, and a couple other picks that are just kind of everything still kind of coming in this breaking news. Joe, break it down for us. What is in this trade? What does this mean for the Wolves?
Well, the reported trade is Karl-Anthony Towns is going to the Knicks, and of course he's got a hefty contract, max player, $49 million this year, $53 next season, $57 after that, and then a $61 million player option in 27-28. So that contract would be going to the Knicks. They can handle it. And coming back to Minnesota would be Julius Randle, who is signed this season for about $29 million, and then around $31 million. He has a player option next season, which $31 million in the NBA today is something he's probably not going to be interested in accepting. So we can see him entering free agency really fast if he plays a full season in Minnesota. Who knows what else could happen? Maybe Tim Connolly, the Timberwolves president of basketball operations, is working more magic. Maybe there's more to come. We don't know. Donte DiVincenzo is a tremendous acquisition because he's a great combo guard. He plays both ends of the floor. He shoots 40% from three, and he's on a contract that'll pay him between 11 and 12.5 million for the next 3 seasons. That is a bargain bin deal for a guy who started 63 games for one of the better teams in the East last season. I don't know where he fits into the starting lineup in Minnesota if he's here, because you have Mike Conley, you have Anthony Edwards, you've got Jaden McDaniels, you have Julius Randle, and you have Rudy Gobert. So I would imagine that DiVincenzo comes off the bench along with Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Joe Ingles, Naz Reid, and then the rookie Rob Dillingham would be one of the main backup point guards for Mike Conley. So this is all kind of taking shape. Everybody's trying to figure out what exactly is going on. The other key piece that John Krasinski of The Athletic is reporting is that Minnesota is also receiving the Detroit Pistons 2025 first-round pick. It has some conditions. So here's the thing. The Knicks have that pick. They're sending it to Minnesota, according to the reports. It's protected picks 1 through 13 in 2025. It's protected in picks 1 through 11 in 2026. And it's protected in picks 1 through 9 in 2027. And quick research, I've looked it up. It sounds like if the Timberwolves now have that pick, if Detroit hasn't sent that to Minnesota because it's fallen in those protected slots by 2027, they'll just give Minnesota their 2027 second rounder. So a lot of conditions, but some high value there for a team that's strapped in the pick department after trading for Rudy Gobert a couple of years ago. This is nuts, though. This is crazy what's happening.
Absolutely stunning move. John Krasinski also tweeting out recently, the word from Karl-Anthony Towns camp is stunned.
Yeah.
I mean, along with the rest of us, as long as this trade has been rumored to be happening, Karl-Anthony Towns to the Knicks, because of the connections there with the Knicks and everybody involved there, this feels like it really came out of nowhere. There was no rumors about this happening this offseason. There was speculation and innuendo, as there always has been throughout the offseason, but this really did feel like it came out of nowhere just a couple weeks before camp started, and the season's a little over a month away, a little less than a month away now.
Yeah, this is nuts. I mean, the Timberwolves just got Karl-Anthony Towns in Minneapolis. Training camp, of course, starts on Tuesday. Monday is the big media day for the Timberwolves, so Cat's not going to be there. I mean, he arrived here literally, is it the 27th today? What date is it?
It is the 27th.
He arrived here on Wednesday. We're talking on Friday night. Cat got to Minneapolis on Wednesday. The Timberwolves tweeted a picture of him. He's all happy, getting hugged by Anthony Edwards with the caption, "Look who's back." And then they had, still shots and videos of him working out, pumping iron, shooting threes, calling him the best shooting big in the league. I mean, this is nuts. It does certainly seem like he was shocked. I have to imagine there are others in the organization that are shocked as well. Everybody, Chris Finch, Tim Connolly, everybody has said all summer, all spring, back to when the Wolves lost in the conference finals to the Mavericks, that our core guys are back, and that meant the starting five and then a few guys off the bench. But obviously something changed, and maybe there was some sort of conversation from the higher ups. Again, ownership issues with Glenn Taylor, and then the Alex Rodriguez, Mark Lowry camp. That thing's going to go to arbitration in November. I mean, maybe a message from the top came down and said, hey, look, this luxury tax stuff, oh, man, we don't like how the economy's looking. I don't know. But they clearly punted on a massive contract and got two much more team favorable contracts in return. And there still might be more to come. It sounds like a third team is required to take on another $8.8 million. Minnesota can't take on any more money. The Knicks can't take on any more money. So there must be some other piece coming from the Knicks to another team. So I don't know what's going to happen, but this is absolutely bonkers, and it changes a lot of dynamics for the Timberwolves heading into 2024-25, and we're starting in a couple of days.
Yeah, absolutely. What does this mean? What does this mean for the rotation on the team now? With taking Karl-Anthony Towns out, putting in presumably Randall in there, maybe in the starting five, or does Naz Reid take over? How do you project this playing out?
This is why my spidey senses are tingling, and I'm like, Julius Randle? How does he fit with Anthony Edwards? I don't think Randle fits better with Anthony Edwards than Karl-Anthony Towns did. You want to talk about having two bigs in the starting lineup with Towns and Rudy Gobert and struggling to stretch the floor. We saw what happened against the Mavericks, against a smaller lineup. It was a problem. Well, Julius Randle's a better defender than Karl-Anthony Towns, but when you put Randle and Gobert on the floor together, that's two guys, and then you throw in Jaden McDaniels, you've arguably got three guys who are very little threat to shoot from deep. So that clogs up the lane. I don't know how this works, and in like you're talking about, maybe Randle comes off the bench, but you're not bringing Julius Randle off the bench. Julius Randle's starting wherever he's playing. That's a fact. So, my spidey senses are tingling. I wonder if there's something else brewing here. I have no idea what it could be. I've seen people talk like, hey, Kevin Durant. What about Kevin Durant?
That was going to be my next question.
He's got the bromance. Well, right. Durant's making like $50+ million this season, so I don't know how the Timberwolves could make it work. You'd have to shed more money than just Julius Randle and DiVincenzo. So, I have no idea how they're going to get this done or what it's going to look like. You can't even fathom what the rotation is going to be beyond some quick glances right now. So I don't know. I just don't think this new look lineup is going to gel all that well together. Plus, you're doing this literally 4 days before the start of training camp.
Yeah.
And now you're going to ask these guys who had gelled and put together the best season in Minnesota in 20 years to go out there on the court and smooth things over. I mean, they're just gonna fit right away. I mean, how is that gonna work? There's a lot of questions here that are yet to be answered, and it feels like there's more to come.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's kind of where my feeling is that this doesn't feel like everything's settled. It feels like there's still another rabbit that Tim Connolly's gonna pull out of the hat here with still time to go, and certainly a giant move here late Friday night from Tim Connolly and the Timberwolves, trading Karl-Anthony Towns to the New York Knicks. After many years of speculation, the trade finally went through. Julius Randle, Donte DiVincenzo, and a Detroit Pistons pick coming Minnesota's way, possibly more on the way. Stay tuned to Timberwolves on SI for all of the latest. Joe Nelson, Will Raggett, Nolan O'Hara, Tony Lieber, and myself covering it all throughout the weekend. Looking forward to it. Joe, good stuff from you tonight, and I'm sure by the time I get this video edited and posted, something will change. Another trade will come through.
Something crazy will happen. Who knows?
Absolutely.
It's rapid fire, though. We're all ready to go, man. This is like can't sleep kind of stuff because you got October 1st. It's trading camp. I mean, if you're going to do something, it's going to happen in the next couple of days without question.
Certainly looking forward to it. Wolves season just around the corner, and here we go, a big trade, changing things up, heading into a season where they want to excel past where they went last season. Looking forward to it, and Minnesota sports fans, stay tuned to this channel. Give us a subscribe. It does help us get found, and also keeps you updated whenever we post a new video. We'll talk to you later.